Hey freelancers, how's it going today? And today is day 2 of the 22-day ways of automating your freelance business. Now, today is a great day because this builds on top of yesterday's, and I want to address some of the concerns and feedback. It wasn't really concerns, but feedback coming in. So before I jump in, I'd love for you guys to go ahead, share this out with your friends, families, colleagues, anywhere on Twitter, Facebook, and the like. And what I'm going to do here is I just want to make sure that we're all seeing this and being able to actually broadcast and share this out right now. So, let me just get this link here. I would love for you guys to go ahead and share where you're tuning in from today. I appreciate that. All right, how do I get this link here? All right, so I'm going to share this out. Okay, so Belgium. Hey Ben, how's it going? Awesome, glad to have you here. I think you'll like this one. Hey Roberto, Panama. Wow, everybody's coming from various places. It's awesome. All right, so here's the deal, right? So I got asked some questions yesterday, right? So today is day 2 of the 22 ways to automate your freelance business, right? So day 1 was really about setting the foundation and being able to focus in on your ideal client and your solution, right? It's not so much automating, but when you figure that out, you're able to build processes around that so that this way you can start automating those processes, right? So some people kind of asked me a little bit about that, and so I wanted to kind of clarify that. You're not necessarily automating your ideal client, right? You have to figure that out yourself. So, what will happen out of that, and we'll start getting into that today about really figuring out your UVP, right? So, here's the thing. You can't be boring, right? When somebody asks you what it is that you do, you can't give them your last 3 client lists, right? Your projects. Hey, how's it going, Amy? You can't be boring, right? You can't give them the last 3 projects that you've done for clients, right? You have to be able to craft a nice, short, concise, and very clear statement about who you are and what you do, right? And who you serve, right? You got to make it about them. They don't care about, from a developer standpoint, that I know Node.js or that I'm up on the biggest, advancements in the REST API for WordPress. They don't care about these things, right? They want to know what it is that you can do for them. And that's your UVP, your unique value proposition, or your elevator pitch. And I'm sure you've heard this term before, but here's a way that you can figure out what your UVP is, right? Based off of yesterday's video, and if you haven't watched that video, I suggest you go ahead and do that. We kind of outlined the 4 questions to ask yourself who your ideal client is, right? Hey Troy, awesome, thanks for sharing. I do appreciate that. If you craft your UVP then you know exactly who it is you serve, right? And what the benefits of that service is to that client, that person that you're talking to, right? Basically, this UVP is not about you. It's all about the client and all about that prospective lead and client that you're talking to. You want to keep it short, and as I said, you want to keep it concise and talking about the benefits to your clients, right? So here's a great template that I've kind of crafted out from listening to other folks with their great, UVPs and such, right? It's basically, it starts out with I help, right? So right away, you're targeting your ideal client, right? So it's I help blank. That's your ideal client. That's what we talked about in yesterday's video. Then it's I help ideal client achieve some big result, right? That big result is their biggest pain point, right? We identified that in yesterday's video as well. So immediately, that one sentence, how's it going, Pete and Pete? Got lots of Pete's today. So if that first sentence defines who you help, your ideal client, and your ideal solution, right? It's really the end result of your solution. So I help ideal client achieve some big result, right? Then this is a two sentence template. Then it is, by achieving this big result, you can now blank, right? So that second blank is basically the benefits, right? It's the benefits to them that they achieve. So, for example, I help, from my perspective, my UVP is I help established e-commerce businesses achieve an increase in sales or transactions through their website. So that's the big pain point that they have, right? Thanks, Bern, for sharing. I appreciate that. Then the second part, the second sentence is so that they can then achieve that sales, right? So here's my full UVP, and you do have to practice it, right? So I have the cadence along with it, so I'm kind of stumbling on it as I describe it here, but it's I help established e-commerce businesses achieve sales and transaction through their website so that they can then focusing on the business and helping bring in new customers and get out of the development and the everyday tasks of maintaining a website, right? So that's mine. So this is crafted based on the communications that I've heard from my clients, right? They don't want to be in the weeds. They don't want to maintain the site. They're successful in the fact that they know that they can bring in business. That's what they're good at. I'm good at the other side. I'm good at the tech stuff. I want to make sure that the business keeps moving, right? Ultimately, that business keeps moving if the founder, the owner of the business, is moving that needle, right? And staying out of the tech, staying out of the weeds, the things that they don't want to be in. So, the last thing you don't want to do is be boring when I got to turn off the notifications or something. Got to figure that out. So, the thing is, you don't want to be boring. If someone comes up to you in a conference or a networking event or just up on the street and says, what do you do? You can't go and say, well, my last client, I hooked in the REST API so that they can build a mobile app. And then the client before that, you can't do that. They don't care about that, right? You want to be able to craft that UVP. So the template again is I help ideal client achieve some big result so that they can then focus in on the benefits, right? And use that so that they kind of transition as the connector so that it makes sense, right? So that first sentence, it shows the result, and then that final sentence allows that transition because that's the benefits that they get out of that result. So thanks for tuning in. I do appreciate that. And if you liked it, go ahead and react to it in some way. Thumbs up, heart, whatever the smiley face is, laughing, that kind of stuff. If you are looking to build processes in your freelance business, go ahead and check out the Sustainable Freelancer Facebook group. Right? You can find that at res.com, that's 3 Z's, /Facebook. And that will allow, it's a free community, but there are about 150 people in there already, and it's growing fast, building and focusing in on building processes and systems in their freelance business so that they can live the kind of life that they want. So until then, it's your time to feast.